All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Stone Creek Stronghold Realms server. Today, I would like to do a tour of all the various farms that we have set up. To do this, I'm going to change over to spectator mode to allow me to fly around and stuff, just to get a better view. Right now we're here at the new city that we're building, flying over the chapel here. I'm going to start out with the farms at my original castle just because, well, it's easier and it's right there. And then I will switch over and we'll go to some of the other farms around the area. Waiting for the world to load here. My internet connection is pretty much garbage today, so I apologize for the low or the slow load times. All right, so we're here at my castle, the original castle, which I covered in the first Realm server video. Right out here, the courtyard, and then ahead is where I built. It's a combination XP farm and iron farm. So what I did is down here is the collection area, and then you come up the 30, I think it's 32 blocks for the initial spawn, and right here you got just layers and layers of spawn, mob spawn areas. What they do is they spawn on these platforms, and they got the little half slabs to prevent spiders from spawning since they gum up the works. But any other mob will spawn, they'll randomly wander around, fall in the water stream pushes them into the center. They fall down, and then at the appropriate height, well, they all hit right here, and then if they happen to land perfectly in the center, the vines will slow them down, so they all fall the exact amount to, or they should all fall the exact amount to end up with pretty much a one-hit kill, or at least if they have armor, it'll be a lot easier kill. Oh, that's a good little cross-section that it's glitching out for you. So you can see it just goes all the way up to the top of the tower, which is at about X200 or so. But up on top here is where I built the iron farm. The iron farm is a mod or a modification of Nim's iron farm that he did. His original iron farm has just the center one here, and as you can see, it's kind of glitching out with the change in the hitbox. It no longer functions quite properly. You can see the iron golems, they push on each other and prevent each other from falling. So that's one of the things I'm going to have to change up. The original design was before they did the villager having to be happy to breed. So what I did is when I modified, not only did I add the extra spawn platforms in here, but I also added in farming areas so that the villagers could breed each other. And because the farmers will farm and pass the potatoes to each other, or carrots, or whatever it is I put. I think it was potatoes. They'll pass them back and forth, feed each other, and they'll all get nice and happy. And what I did is I just trapped one at each one of these corners in glass so that they would keep this entire set of doors activated. It just increases the population size, which increases the golem spawn. There's been some glitches with it, like I said, with the change. Number one, the golems get stuck now due to their hitboxes, and then for some reason on this one corner, every so often a golem will spawn there, so I got to come up every so often and clear it out. Other than that, it's pretty good. I've never actually timed the drop rates, but it makes more than enough iron for me to do what I got to do to make all the different beacons and stuff that I've put down. If they fall here, they get burned by the lava, collected, and then there's a very long hopper chest chain. Saves on some of that iron if you do a hopper than a chest. Well, part of it's a hopper chest. I haven't gone back and replaced them all with chests, but it goes all the way down to the bottom of my castle, to the treasure vault, to the auto sorting area. So that's the first farm. Not the first one I've built, but that's the first farm we'll go over. The second farm we'll go over today is the gold farm and rotten flesh farm. Since rotten flesh can be sold to villagers for emeralds, I don't destroy the rotten flesh, I collect it, but here is my gold farm and rotten flesh farm. What it is maximum sized portals for the spawning of zombie pigmen. And so what happens is each one of these portals is 21 blocks high, and then they fit, I kind of made it to fit the castle because I built the castle first, and I just kind of built it into this spot. But 21 blocks high and is wide. In the center, they're 21 blocks wide, and then they taper off as it comes to the end. But what happens is the zombie pigmen will spawn in each one of these. You may or may not know that zombie pigmen spawning is based on the number of active panels, or not panels, but the blocks of nether portal, not just the portals themselves. It's the actual purple blocks here that actually that calculate how many zombie pigmen spawn. So maximum size 21 by 21 gives you the most. What I do is I just let the gap, and it's short enough that they'll walk right off. They don't get stuck, so you don't really need the trick platforms. I'm drawing a blank. The little doors that go up and down right here. You don't really need those because it's low enough. They'll just walk right off. But they'll walk down. They'll get into this center chamber here, and it pushes them all the way down here, at which point they'll drop down all the way down, way more than they need to. But they'll drop down, they get killed by the fall, and then their goodies get all picked up by the hoppers down there, and also goes straight into right here in my my treasure vault collection area. So that's number 2. Those are the only, well, it's not the only automatic farms. So over here, oops, flying into the mob spawner area. Over here is a pumpkin and melon farm. This is another one of Nim's Toots designs. The way it works is it's modular, so you can add on more to the side, and then I modified it a little bit so that I could put more onto the top. What it is when every other one is a melon spot, and then a pumpkin spot on the other side. And what happens is this torch here, the redstone torch here, oh, there you go, you just saw it, puts a signal into this to the extender here. When a pumpkin pops up, it allows that current to go through. That current going through then activates the block above it, sending the current through and activating the, I'm sorry, wow, losing my spot there. All right, so what happens is the redstone current goes through, gets to the signal duplicator, hits the pumpkin or melon. That pumpkin or melon will transmit the signal through, which sends the signal up to this dropper. This dropper will then shoot the item up into the hopper. That hopper now has an item in it, which gets picked up by the comparator. The comparator sees it, that has an item, sends the signal out to here. It goes through there and into the piston back here. That piston pushes forward with the glass block, breaks the pumpkin or melon, which shoots it by these hoppers. That dropper then drops it back down, the block back down into the hopper, and waits for the next set of forward, gets picked to come again. Works really well. The way I designed mine, or modified mine, is I put in the lamps every other one so that you got plenty of light. It also, I forget how Nim's described it, but it has something to do with you can't have a solid block on top of the plants or they won't grow. So you have to either put glass or a lamp of some kind to do it. So it works out pretty good, though. I got somebody in the stream here. Let me say hi. Doing the farm tour. All right, so anywho, so back to this. So that's how that works. It just sends the signal, activates, and okay. Glitch out, and I'll have a pumpkin that gets stuck in here. So I come through, like I said, every so often and just kind of take a look around, like right here. For some reason, sometimes they get stuck, and it doesn't, I don't know, just they grow in the middle of a timing pulse or something. So eventually I'll come through here and I'll clean those out, and it doesn't happen very often, but once in a while that'll happen. So that's the pumpkin and melon farm. Like I said, these that I'm going over right now are the ones that are just in my castle. They're basically for me. I share with everybody, but anybody who asks for stuff, I'll give them stuff. But basically, these are just kind of items for myself, and then I'll share if somebody needs it. The next one I'll cover here is the sugarcane farm. Again, it's another one of Nim's designs. I love Nim's designs. He makes them easy, and he makes it really follow. His tutorials are really easy to follow. So the way this is an improvement over his previous design. Actually, I might still have the previous design over here. I had, yeah, there it is. That's the original design. It's a single item here with a bud switch down at the end. The way it works is whenever this one plant at this end grows, it activates the bud switch this piston creates here, which will pulse it, and then that will pulse all of the other pistons in the back that push all of the sugar cane off the end into the hopper, which is good. It worked great. Problem being, it only has a single line of growing area. So his new design, this one, is much better. It's got double the line, and it uses the newer goo blocks to work, where they connect to each other and they don't connect to anything else, kind of thing. It works real well. The difference being is this one's now on a timer, so which is actually a good thing, because the other one, it had to wait for that one specific one to grow, so everything else could be fully grown, and it wouldn't activate until that one on the end grew. This one will activate every so many seconds and push it off. The way this is set up is I have it stacked on top of each other so that there's only one single timer down at the bottom that activates everything right over here. It's a hopper timer. So this one timer will activate all of the rows, which saves on the redstone pulse ticks and lag times and all that stuff. There you go. You can see it pushing everything off. I don't know why zombies are spawning in there. Every so often they do. That's something I'll have to look into. But anyway, the way it works is it's kind of the same as the other one. You got two rows here. The water is enough to keep this side activated. Underneath there is another set of water right here to activate these dirt so that you can plant the sugarcane on them. Behind it is just a row of, or a single, or a couple of pistons for the goo blocks, and it pushes the entire row forward, which pushes all of these, and because of the spring action of the goo blocks, it'll actually push them all the way until they hit the wall, and then they'll fall down into the water and down into the bottom where the hopper collector's at. And then the signal from the timer is pulsed up right here on this one tower. The whole thing is made out of, I made it out of furnaces because I have lots and lots of cobblestone from where I cleaned out my castle. But you can also make it out of melons or anything else that can't be pushed by the goo blocks. So that is farm number 3. I think that's all of the automatic farms that I have here in the castle. The next one we'll go talk about is we'll go to the Nether, and we'll go over to the Guardian farm, and we'll take a look at that one. All right, we are here at the Guardian farm. This one was built on, obviously, a Guardian water temple, whatever you call those things. We spent several hours cleaning it out, putting sand around it, sucking all the water out with sponges and building it. The way this one works is there's a cage up here for the Guardians to spawn in. The Guardians will only spawn in the vicinity of the sea temples, and so obviously you got to build it at one of these. the way it works is the water up here, the guardians will spawn here because of the open air all the way around. They can't spawn anywhere else. This outlines the outer boundaries of the sea temple, so they can't spawn outside in the water out here in the ocean because it's outside of the boundary. So they can only spawn in this water. And so when you're the only one online, you get here and a whole bunch of them will spawn. They fall. They'll swim around. For some reason, they're kind of affected by gravity, and that they'll sink a lot of times. Unless they're actively trying to attack something, they'll start to sink. They sink down, they'll hit this air gap here and fall through. The water all flows to the center and pushes them in. The glass is to prevent them from hopping and bouncing, but they'll hit this, they'll slide right underneath into the drop. They'll drop all the way down and they'll die when they hit the bottom. The hoppers will collect all their lovely goodies. It runs through a hopper chain down here that runs over to an item elevator here. The item elevator I built goes up, and then it uses the item hopper filters to filter out all the items. As you can see, they drop a crap load of fish. We are always full of fish over here. So they put all the fish. The fish goes out there, and then I added chests here for the prismarine and the shards. And then every so often you'll get some squid that'll spawn up there, and the guardians will kill them. So we'll end up with some ink. And these are the different blocks that you can make with their drops, the lanterns, the prismarine, and the other prismarine. And then over here, every so often, well, this is kind of an overflow chest, but rare drops or pufferfish and so on and so forth. But it's an overflow for the other fish as well. So every so often, we got to come in there and clean that out. And that is farm number 4. It is in the middle of an ocean. There is a plan to build a decorative island on top. As for right now, I just kind of played around with it and made it pretty when I was building the boxes and stuff around it. All right. Yep. So that's farm number 5, I guess. Actually, 5. Yeah. All right. So that's good for that. We'll head back to the Nether now, and I will take you to the. First, I'll take you to the Blaze farm, and then I'll take you over to the Wither farm. And you can see, once I activate myself, you can see how fast they spawn. Being the only one that's on right now, they spawn crazy fast, and they fall like crazy. So you'll end up with, if you just stand here for an hour, you'll end up with a really large amount of materials, even at lower drop rates. But yeah, it's a great farm. I don't know, Elder got the design from somewhere for the box portion, and then I just kind of played around with the fall drop for distance and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that works. All right, off to the Nether. All right, we are here at the Blaze farm. I have 2 Blaze farms. This is the only one that's really operational right now. I messed up the design of the other one. I'm gonna have to go back and modify it, but I like the way it looks. The sandstone and prismarine really look good together for this one. This is a combination of 2 different farms. One was done by Nims again. The timing blocks here that you see were Nims' design. Heavily modified, but the original designs were for his Blaze farm. And then I used the kill mechanism here from another person, and I apologize, but I cannot remember the name of who I got it off of, but I'm sure you can find it on the internet if you search for Blaze farms. I'll change back to game mode normal here, and you can see the way it works is pretty obvious. You got a Blaze spawn block right up top there. You're well within I think it's 15 blocks for spawning. So that thing is staying active all the time. The blazes will spawn. They'll float down to the bottom because there's nothing to aggro them. They can't see you right now, and these trapdoors keep them blocked out from being able to see you. So they'll spawn, they'll spawn, they'll spawn. My game's glitching here. All right, so they'll spawn up, and for the sake of time, I'm just going to show you. You come over here, and there's a hopper timer in the back, and what that does is it pushes it forward, opens the trap doors, allowing them to fall through. The redstone blocks will suffocate them to a point of being a one-hit kill. And then you can come in here and just whack attack them. Now, blaze farms are awesome things to have, especially in vanilla Minecraft, because blazes give you not only double the experience, but blaze rods are an excellent source of fuel. You can throw them in your furnaces, and they cook. I don't have actual numbers, but based on what I've experimented with, they seem to cook just about as long as a can of lava will, and you can stack up to 64 of them, making them way more efficient than lava. You can fit a heck of a lot more blaze rods into a double chest than you can cans of lava. So for those super schmelters like I like to use, you can do a lot more with them. And now that we got a few more here, I'll give you another example. Click it, they drop, and the nice thing is that trap door, when it comes back up, it'll block all of the new ones from being able to drop down. And so you don't have to worry about whacking one. See right there, he falls down and he gets stuck. Even if they're on top of the redstone blocks, the trapdoor falls up fast, or goes up faster than the blazes can fall, which will keep them separated. So you don't have to worry about whacking one of these guys that hasn't been crushed and aggroing the rest. This is what I kind of messed up on the first farm because I didn't have a good crusher in there. And so you'd hit them and they wouldn't actually be, you couldn't one-hit kill him. So if you hit one and you don't one-hit kill him, he gets aggravated and he aggravates all the rest of them around him. And they all start flying up, and now your farm is completely useless until they chill back out. So that is the blaze farm, farm number 6, I believe. All right, now I'll take you over to the wither farm. I'm going to change back to spectator mode here. All right, and we'll head over to the blaze farm, or I'm sorry, the wither farm, wither skeleton farm. Oop, past the hallway. I made a train track here so that we can get out to the wither farm a lot faster. Yeah. Spectator mode's a heck of a lot faster than a train ride. And we are here. We tried to do our best to go through and half slab all of the blocks. I ran out of stone, so there's several that are still not covered, but they're far enough away that they don't affect the wither skeleton spawn rates, but they do allow zombie pigmen to spawn out there, which it can mess up your spawn rates because of the mob limit on a server or a game. So the way it works is you come down here. Apparently somebody was here recently because there's still experience everywhere. The way this one works is based on the wither taco design. Wait for my game to catch up to me. It's based on the wither taco design. If you can go on and just Google the wither taco, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't make the full taco. I only did the bottom row. But the way it works is this is an intersection. If you've done any research on, excuse me. If you've done any research on wither spawns, you know that the best place to get the wither spawns is where two intersections meet that don't have buildings and yada yada, and so many blocks for each direction. Well, this square right here is built on one said block, so this entire area right here is a wither spawn arena, all the way from the bottom floor to the top floor. And so the way it works is the wither skeletons will spawn on any of these blocks. The train cars will pick them up. they'll come on down and they'll hit this detector rail here, and just based on the north, south, east, west layout of this block, this farm, it'll kick them out and it'll kick them over to the right and back one block, which is why they're placed there, because it kicks them out right over the top of this hole. So it'll kick them out, they'll fall down the hole, they'll take a little bit of fall damage, and then everything else that spawns up there, whether it be regular skeletons or zombie pigments or whatever, will fall down, they'll take fall damage, and then they'll get crushed by these crusher blocks here. And I'm going to change my game mode so you guys can get a look at it. So there's a timer. There you go. You saw it pulse, and what it is just the goo blocks will grab those blocks, and there's a timer I have set up here that just as a build-up charge timer. It'll pulse and activate all these pistons at the same time. And it'll open it up just long enough for the wither or whatever to fall through, and everything except the wither will get crushed, because the wither hitbox is higher than 2 blocks, or more than 1 block up. So the average mob is the second block up is their hitbox. The wither is 2.5, I believe. So everything else stands here, their feet here and their head there. They get crushed and they die, and the withers will still be alive, so you can walk through with everything else being crushed and just kill the withers to your heart content. Not really concerned about anything being aggroed except pigmen, so you just try to avoid hitting the pigmen. But you saw the wither that was up there in the train. I have built, there's a safe place here. You can, for those people who like to AFK while you're doing your farming and come back here, it's still within the area, the 128 blocks to keep that whole thing activated, so you can just stand here and wait. And the withers will spawn up there, they'll get trapped, and they'll come down. I was kind of hoping we could get an example of one. Well, there's a blaze. You'll see, so they'll get trapped up top first. This will pulse, down he comes, and then he gets crushed. Yeah, so he'll get crushed. And then all of the drops get picked up by this double hopper, or the hoppers here, and they all get brought down here. The wither skeletons drop swords and coal along with their heads, and then you'll get some gold and rotten flesh from the zombie pigmen. So that's good. The bones from the regular skeletons, and I guess the wither skeletons as well. Whoever was down here farming last time didn't clean up, because I built chest over here for people to clean out that chest so that they don't have to fight with it. And there's also the nice ender chest here. And as you can see, I spent enough time here that I built up my own little horde of heads for beacon farming. Kind of disappointed you guys didn't get to see one. What I can do is, I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but when I flew up top, there was already a wither skeleton stuck in one of the train cars. It's just one of the cars that wasn't moving. There we go. Get that thing going again. And that's the one downfall to this. Every so often, some of the cars will get stuck at the bottom. It'll just glitch, and they'll get stuck at the bottom. So every so often, that's why I left the platform here. You can climb up the stairs or climb up the ladder here and take a look, and then if there's any of the cars are glitching, you'll see them just stuck on the bottom, and then you can go around or go over the top and just climb up, hop down, and reactivate whichever one was glitching out. Doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. So it's a good little farm. Works rather well. You saw I've still got 19 heads, and I used a whole bunch of them when I was making the beacons for my my castle and my villager farming area. So. I think the mob drops have decrease since Uranus is on. I don't know. Anyway, while we're here, I'll take you over. The other farm that I built was based on NIMS design as well. Apparently it's doing a lot more zombie pigman farming than it is doing blaze farming. But it's just another chest, and this one is the original NIMS design. You can see the goo blocks go all the way to the center, pushing all the blazes down. This one I had to modify. I didn't have all the materials to build it properly to his specs, so you can see it's a little bit, it's a little bit messed up. All of those blocks, the granite blocks down there at the bottom, they should be ice that allows the blazes to slide off the end. The other problem is I did not build the crusher into it like I should have. And so when I was trying to kill the blazes, this is before I understood the whole aggravation effect of blazes. And so you whack a blaze and you get PO'd and everybody in here would start flying around, and then the farm no longer works. You got to wait for them all to calm down. So I'll get this fixed and put in a crusher like the other one has here. The nice thing about this one is it puts everything into one block, so it's a lot easier to kill. You don't have to keep running back and forth when you're killing everything. But it's you know, it is what it is. So we'll get that one fixed, and then we'll have 2 blaze farms running because blaze farms are awesome. All right, I think that pretty much covers it for farms on the server that I know of anyway. I know that there's other people that have farms. These are the ones that I've built or been part of building in the case of, say, the Guardian farm. But we're still working on it. I'm sure we'll get some more farms going. I know that the new city is going to be having some new ones. Oh, actually, I take that back. There is one more set of farms I want to show you. Let me go back to my castle. This is the set of farms that make people unhappy when they're near my castle because of all the mobs in it. Or not mobs, but in animals. So down here, I have a cow farm. And I got the design, part of the design from somewhere on the internet, I don't remember where, and then I heavily modified it to make it completely AFK, as long as your wheat lasts, okay? So the way it works, you got to get a couple of the cows in there to begin with, and then you block off where this area is at, so you can block this off like that, and then you breed them up so you have several in there. And the way it works is there's a dispenser back in there with water in it. So you hit this button, it activates the dispenser, the water starts flowing. Well, when the cows are in the water, they start bouncing up and down. And so you fill up your dispenser here and these 2 hoppers here with wheat. And then you fill your inventory all but one spot on your hotbar with something other than wheat. And then you stand right here, and you'll see when I turn this on, that'll activate that clock, and that clock activates this piston. And you stand right here, aiming at the cows, and then you just right-click, and it'll automatically just keep breeding. And so if you leave the water on, and as soon as they become eligible to breed again, you're already breeding them because you're getting all that wheat. See, and they breed. The water pushes the babies off down to this hole. Then all you gotta do is wait for them to grow up. I know there's several designs out there that do automatic cooking and everything for your cows. This design, when I originally made this design, it was back when you could sell beef, raw beef, to the villagers. And I know they changed that in one of the recent updates. You can't do that anymore, but I'm hoping it'll come back. So I left the design as is. I'm gonna turn this off so I don't have to fill up on wheat here. But I left the design as is so that if they do bring it back, I'll be able to start selling my raw beef again. But this is a great farm. It breeds cows. You can do the same thing with sheep, but you cannot do it with pigs, unfortunately, or rabbits or anything like that. It only works with the mobs that are 2 blocks high with babies that are 1 block high because of the fall. So there's a piece of glass right back there that blocks the adults from falling off, and the sign there that blocks the water so that only the babies can get pushed off in there. But you wait for the babies to grow up, you hit this little piston here, or if you have no time, you can just hit the piston and leave it, and when they grow up, their heads will be in that box and they'll start suffocating. And you end up with raw beef and a bunch of wool, or I'm sorry, not wool, leather. I moved all of it to my treasure vault downstairs, but this chest used to be completely full of raw beef. So it works pretty good. It's a great little design. You can modify it to fit just about anywhere you want. The way I have the hopper set up is so that if you're full and all of your cows have been bred, the hoppers here will catch the wheat as it flies through your head, and then it puts it back down into this bottom dispenser, which will daisy chain it back up to the top one every time it gets a clock pulse. One thing to note, though, if you decide you want to build one of these, you have to put the dispenser that's shooting your wheat to you at least one block above the hoppers. When I did the initial testing with this, I put the dispenser down here, and what happens is that hopper will pick it up before you can pick it up if it's that close. So it has to actually have time away from a hopper for you to grab it before the hoppers will. So that's just one little thing to take note if you decide you want to build something like this. All right. Now I think that's probably all of the automatic farms we have so far on the server. This is just my regular, this is where I grow my wheat. It's just several platforms with a little switch over here. The switch activates some piston or some dispensers up top. Those dispensers are all full of water. The water flows down. It pushes all of the goodies down here to get picked up by this hopper chain and put into a chest. It's just a more efficient farm for harvesting. You still have to go back through by hand and replant everything. I know there's some designs to do this with regular or with villagers now, but I have not had time or the location to go through and build one. But I intend to, at some point in the future, I will be hopefully going through and doing that. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. That's most, if not all, of the farms that I know about on here. Definitely all of them that I've built so far. As we get more, or some of the other guys want to give me tours of their farms, I will be happy to take you all for a tour of their farms. Until then, if you like the video or you want some more details about any of these farms, please just drop a comment and I will get back to you if either I'll give you the answer that I know, or I will look up the original videos for whatever designs there were, and I will give them to you that way so that you can go back to the originals and see where the ideas came from. All right, with that being said, everybody, thanks for coming for the tour. And now we'll go back to our regularly scheduled streaming. Hey, Kate, how's it going? Sorry, I'm doing a tour, or I'm making a video of the tour of all the different farms on the server. So that's why I was walking and talking about that stuff. Yeah. So I'll go through and edit that here in a little bit. I guess I could have talked about that. Yeah. Standard cobblestone farm, nobody really cares. Anywho, how's your day going? You feeling better? I know you were sick last time we talked. And there's a lot of new buildings again. Every time I log on, there's new buildings. Oh, bummer. How'd you break your glasses? You know you're supposed to take those off before you get hanky-panky. Don't know what this guy is doing with the chicken farm here, but it's kind of weird. It's not just kind of weird, it's very weird. Let's see, we've got the gallows, somebody's gallows humor. Watching a GOP debate. Ugh. How can you call yourself a gamer and watch a debate? That's just wrong. Uh-huh. Sure you were. You need them to see, or you wear them, they're just like reading glasses? Like I wear my glasses only when I'm playing on my laptop because the screen's so small. The rest of the time I don't need them, but I don't know how you are, whether you need them or not. Oh, I guess I should see. Or if he's in the chat thing. I didn't even log into it today. Speaking of which, I hope the darn thing's recording properly. Looks like it's picking up the mic. And he's gone. I like this little archery range you made. It's really cool. Very unique and original. Should do him a favor and bring over a whole buttload of arrows from the XP farm. I really like this place. This is cool. You did a good job. Did a good job. I think they said they added something to this too. No? Maybe? It's not. Let's see, what else is new in the city? Message board, but nobody's added messages. I think the Tanner shop was here before. No, maybe not. Don't remember all this stuff being in here. That's cool. I like it. Looks good. Sauron. Oh, you're blind without them? That sucks. I'm sorry. I know how that can be. Are they broken so you can like duct tape them and do the whole nerd thing with them in the middle? Harry Potter style? Or are they like broke where you are just kind of SOL? Let's see, these are new. Built by unknown. I really love the texture pack that I put the pictures in. It's a nice little house. Got to change my dark oak. It doesn't look good. Ugh. Can't afford a new pair. Glasses aren't that expensive. Are they? I don't know. I get mine for free from the Navy, but they're all birth control glasses that look like, you know, crap. So I guess I really... Why is there green carpet everywhere? Very interesting. It's always interesting to see the different designs people do for their houses, especially when they don't have to live in them. I still think this is probably my favorite low-class, low-income housing. Of course, we don't know who made it. Looks really good. That's different. I haven't seen this one. Well, if it makes you feel any better about your glasses, I got knee surgery on Friday and I can barely walk. That should perk you up, right? Interesting. That's a really cool design. I wonder how he did that. Huh. It's a really cool design. I didn't know you could combine the different patterns on the things with the things and the other things. See, this is how it should be, where everything's like all touching and butted up together and barely enough room to walk. That's low income. Like that would be the lower, the cheap sides as they call it. Oh yeah. I mean, this is the second knee I've had done. I got my right one done. Gee, it's been almost 2 months now. And I did my left one Friday. So I figure another month or so I should be able to walk normally. Well, relatively normally. I still was limping on my right knee before I got the left one done, but oh well. One of these days I'm going to have to get on and actually finish that chapel. And then Bonjaro was working on the docks over here. Looks pretty good. I like it. Need to get somebody to come in and build a couple of little longboats or cargo boats or something. That'd be. Unfortunately, our boat guy left. I don't remember who it was. The cartilage behind my kneecaps is shredded in both knees. It's basically been degenerating for the last 10 years, but the Navy didn't care. But I finally got a doctor who gave a darn, and so he put me in for referral and got to see a real doctor. And they're like, yeah, you need surgery. So surgery I got. Stone Creek Tavern. Yeah, see, this looks more like it. It's a good tavern. Yeah, anyway, so they finally did the surgery. He went in and smoothed the cartilage behind the knee, and then what really hurts and screws up my walking is he actually did what's called a lateral release, where he basically goes in there and cuts a bunch of my, I don't know if it's tendons or what, but he just sliced a whole bunch of stuff on the side to release pressure on my kneecap. And so that is what really takes a long time to heal back up. At least I think that's what takes a long time, but it definitely doesn't feel good. Oh. Interesting design. Anyway, yeah, but the right one was feeling, at least, it was feeling better than before the surgery, even before I got the left one done. So it's better. He did a good job. It's getting better. I should have just stole all these bricks when I did my chapel. Oh, these are nether rack, not regular. Not that I'd steal them, but gotta figure out something to do with that down there. Yeah, but at least I got it fixed now before I retire, so that's good. It's a lot easier to get it done while I'm still active than to try and get it done after. The VA is not as helpful. It's going to be looking good when it gets done with it. I don't remember who's building this. Bonjero maybe, or Elder? Bonjero. It's going to be nice. See, it looks like, to me, the upper class housing is crammed together more than the lower class housing is over there, or the middle class housing, which is completely backwards. Upper class housing should have big like open yards, you know, and gardens and statues and all that kind of stuff on them. And the lower income and middle income housing should be all crammed together with barely enough room to breathe. And I don't know. My opinion, which doesn't really mean much. I think this is Uranus's house. I don't remember this one being here. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I did see that one before. What are you going to do about your glasses? What in the heck is this? Is it did your lenses break or just the frames? I really liked what you did with the fireplace. Looks really cool. I like that too. That's nice. So it must just be the frames that broke? Well, I don't know if you're interested or not, but you can always try like pawn shops and stuff. I don't know if you can find, like, I guess some of the frames and lenses don't always match, but I don't know. Possible. Don't know. Like I said, I've always gotten the free ones. My son just got glasses, but we get them on base, so they're not as bad. That's a bummer, though. I wish I could help. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. Who would have thought cleaning was such a dangerous business? Well, well, maybe it's a blessing then that they broke, because you need new ones anyway. You try? I don't know. Like I said, I really don't look at the prices and stuff, and I'm sure you can get some cheap ones that aren't too bad. Just send your kid out to do some lawn mowing or something, so you can get some glasses. That's what kids are for, right? Slave labor. Oh, well, Miss Kate, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to get off of here. Oh, where did all this come from? Oh, bone. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get off here so I can edit that other video and get it uploaded tonight before bed. It's already getting pretty late, and I haven't been sleeping all that great since the surgery. It's very hard to find a comfortable place to lay when your knee is throbbing and aching all night. Anyway, Bo, and the answer is no, it doesn't make up for it. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'll just type it out. Wow. Sitting here staring into oblivion. I'm going to cheat for a second. Don't tell nobody. I don't feel like running all the way back over to the platform. Oh, Canadian-y. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope, hopefully, you can figure something out. There's got to be another way to get around it. Maybe you can try knocking over a liquor store or something. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have to call it a night. I appreciate you showing up for the stream, though. I know it's a short one. I was just doing the tour of the farms, but I do appreciate having a loyal fan. You're like my only fan, so I really do appreciate it. I don't want you to feel like I'm dropping out or leaving on you. I do appreciate you showing up and supporting the stream like you do. It's nice to have somebody that actually watches. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself all the time. Anyway, hopefully I'll catch you on the next stream. We should be doing our normal, we're doing the stream every Sunday night now, 6:30 Central Standard Time. So definitely come back for that one. I will definitely be on as long as nothing happens with my knee again. I will be on for that one. So I will catch you later.